Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Now, in this short lesson, I want to talk to you about what might be the most important thing to learn in backgammon. What is your game plan? Now, this is so important. I'm going to show you a lot of positions on this, and hopefully by the end of this video, in around 15 minutes, you'll have a much better understanding of how to use this over the board. Now, there are four main game plans in backgammon: racing, blitzing, priming and holding. Now, when you are making checker plays over the board, you want to consider what you are trying to achieve. Think holistically. What is your overall game plan? Use that objective as a guide to help you find the right checker plays over the board. Don't just move your checkers idly, move them with conscious thought and decision, and game plan will be your guide, your arrow towards finding the best play. So let's start looking at the positions. Now, in this first position, white has a 5-3 to play. How do you go about playing this? Now, the correct move is to play 24 to 16. White's game plan here is to race. White is 9 pips up before the roll. Now, of course, it's tempting to make the 3-point and take a checker off of 2 candlesticks, but no. Our game plan here is to race. We're ahead. We want to get the last checker out. Green's game plan is to prime. He has spares on his 6, 7 and 8 point that he'd like to use to make the 5-point or the 4-point and trap us in there further. We don't want that to happen. We want to get out. And here we can see that making the 3-point would indeed be an error and result in fewer wins. Here we run. Do not get trapped. And this is a common error that you see. People wait too long to extract that last back checker. Green's front position gets better, gets stronger, and then suddenly we have a big problem on our hands as white. So get out now and race when you are ahead. Position 2, white has a 4-3 to play. Okay, the right move is 23 to 16, and here anything else would be a big blunder. Now think about the game plans. Green's game plan is to make the 5-point and prime us. Now Green has around 16 rolls out of 36 to make the 5-point, and we have rolled a perfect 4-3 as white. It's a great roll to jump the broken prime and get out. Now white's game plan is to escape the lone back checker and race. The race is very close, and after the roll, white will actually be ahead. Green still has 3 checkers back. Do not let green fulfill his game plan of priming us, making that 5 prime. Get out while we can. Just think, if green does make the 5 prime here, then as white we only have 1-6 to escape, which is pretty bad. It's only 2 rolls in 36. So look, let's get out when we can and use this roll to our advantage. Now here is another example of racing. Here white has rolled a double 2, and I've done the comparison of the wrong move on the left and the right move on the right. Now you can see that it's very tempting to make the prime on the left, make the 5 prime. You know, what's wrong with the 5 prime? But that would be a blunder. On the right, we see the correct move. We break contact and we race. Now white here is 19 pips up before the move. So race, for goodness sake, just break contact and get those checkers moving. Clear the blocking points and race when you're ahead. Now also the danger of making the 5 prime, although it's tempting, What are you going to do about those two other checkers stuck on our opponent's bar point? We've completely isolated them. They're disconnected, and connectivity is a really central concept in backgammon. So we definitely do not want to leave those two guys stranded back there. So we're 19 pips up. Let's race. Here in the third position, white has a 6-2 to play. How do you go about playing this 6-2? Now here, after a double 5 start, we have a blitzing game plan. So let's continue with the blitz. We as white have some checkers deep within our home board, and they are really kind of out of play. So we want to attack and fill in the other points in our home board. So here, of course, we hit with a 2. And then the question is, what do we do with a 6? Do we split our back checkers, or do we bring another one down? Well, after a double 5, we have a blitz game plan. So let's bring one down from the heavy midpoint and have more checkers in the zone. Of course, with another checker there on the bar point, we now have more numbers to cover the 4 point, more numbers to make further inner board points. We have basically diversified our roles. So here we start with a blitz and we continue with the blitz. Keep attacking, keep making points. Hope green doesn't enter. And then, green may be a spectator in this game. We've all been there watching idly, annoyingly, when our opponent just keeps on making points, and we pretty much spend the whole game just on the bar or getting cubed out. So there we are. Start with a blitz, continue with a blitz. Here, white has a 5-4 to play. How do you play this one? Now the right move here is 13-9, 8-3. Well done if you spotted it. Anything else would be a big error or a blunder. Now here we counter the opponent's prime with a prime of our own and hope he breaks first, being ahead in the race. We can see the finished position there on the bottom right. Now there, green only has a 1-6 to escape. If green doesn't roll a 1, then we have good numbers as white to make our 6 prime. Of course, if he does hit us, we still have the anchor to fall back on, and as green is slightly ahead in the race, he would most likely crunch first. So usually it is the player who is further behind in the race that is the favourite in a prime v prime scenario. So here we play pure, we slot the points that are going to be good for us, and we hope to make that 6 prime on a future roll. And even if we are hit back, how bad is it? We can see there on the left that our game winning chances go up by about 4% over the second best play. Here white has a 3-1 to play, position 5. Now this is an interesting one, and we're going to talk about this one in some detail. Now the correct move is to come in on a 24 and play 13-10. Now this is a correct play. Anything else is an error or a blunder. Now the question to ask ourselves is, why is this the right play? And to answer that, we need to consider game plan. Now here we can look at the comparison after the move, after the right play on the left, and after the wrong play on the right, where white has stepped up. And these two positions are very instructive in considering game plan, where we look at the dynamics of the position and where the checkers are to determine what game plan we should be thinking about, which should help us make the right checker plays over the board. Now on the left, where white has entered on the 24 and played 13-10, this is a correct play because our game plan here as white is to prime. We have the 6 and 4 point made already, and we are hoping to make the 5 point. So bringing a checker down from the mid to the 10 gives us more numbers to make the 5 point. We have more rolls and our checkers are better diversified. Now on the right, if we played wrong and we stepped up to a 21 as white, that would be incorrect because green's game plan there is to blitz. Now green has made the deeper 2 point and therefore wants to carry out a blitz attack. It's simply too dangerous for white to step up. Green has 9 checkers in the zone and is ready to attack us. And there we can see what now happens. So position 6, green has a 2-1 to play after white has misplayed by stepping up. How does green play the 2-1? Now of course here it's right to attack. 23-22, 6-4. Green has 9 checkers in the zone. Now green can make the 22 point and play a holding game, but of course it's better to stop us escaping that back checker and hit us off the 4 point, which is also a point that green would like to make himself. He has good attacking rolls with 9 checkers in the zone. A lot of numbers will cover the 4 point. Now, if we were to move green's spare from a 9 point to the 8 point and reduce his good rolls, then it would be better for green to make the 22 point and not carry out the blitz attack. So small changes to the position, small permutations, small differences can really change what game plan we should be making. But here, the blitz play is correct, which is why it was wrong for white to step up to a 21 in the first place. Now here we can see again 2 positions from the same game on whether white should blitz or not, and there you can see the analysis on the left hand panels. Now on the left hand position, the blitz game plan there is very strong for white because green has 1 on the bar and 2 checkers in green's home board, so is in a very vulnerable position. So white there should definitely hit with a 5 and bring down a 2 for more covering numbers. Now even though that does leave white with 2 checkers exposed in their home board, it does also put green's 2 checkers on the bar, so green has much fewer rolls to re-enter. So there green is vulnerable, gammons are high, the cube is turned, so let's carry out the blitz attack on the left. But now if we think about the right position slightly later in the game, green has now made the anchor, has now made the 21 point anchor. And now the blitz game plan lacks value because gammons go down a lot once green has anchored up. He can hold onto that anchor. If he gets hit back, he can have that anchor as a safe landing spot. So there, gammons are reduced. So there, for white, it's simply better to tidy up 11-10 and make a racing play, being 11 pips up in the race. So here, very interesting to see the benefit of the blitz on the left where green is exposed and vulnerable, but on the right where green has the anchor and gammons are low, we change to a different game plan strategy. Here, position 7, white has a 6-2 to play. How do you go about playing this? Now here we make the 18 point, we make our opponent's bar point. Now of course here we can hit instead, but when behind in the race, it's good to stay back for contact and play a holding game. We can also force awkward rolls. We have some timing as white to play checkers from our midpoint. So green is going to run into problems later in the game. Having a blocking point 6 away from our opponent's midpoint means that he's most likely going to leave shots later in the game, by which point we as white will have a stronger home board. Also, a second benefit of this is we negate our opponent's game plan. green has a stronger home board with some spare checkers. Green wants to prime and to blitz. So we as white, by making the holding game bar point, we negate green's game plans and we create our own game plan. So we can always think, what game plan is my opponent trying to achieve, and how can I thwart that? How can I prevent him being successful in achieving a game plan? And what is my game plan in response? So when behind, play the holding game, make blocking points, preferably 6 points away from your opponent's points, and then see what happens later in the game. And here, the final position, position 8. Thank you for sticking with me so far. How should green play a double 5 here? Now the right move is 13-3 and 6-1 twice, resulting in the bottom right position, breaking our home board. Well done if you got this one right. Now here we are behind. Even after the roll, we are still behind. So we want to play a holding game and keep the 20 point. It is also 6 away from green's point. And that means green 6s are going to play awfully if we hold on to that point. So 10 of green's 6s, everything but 6-6, are going to leave a shot. They're going to be forced to play a checker off the 11 point and leave us 17 rolls in return to hit. So if we run off the 20 point, then all those 6s suddenly become good rolls. So we turn 10 6s from terrible rolls for our opponent into beautiful and fantastic rolls for our opponent by vacating the 20 point. So here we really see the strength of the holding game. Here we just wait, we hold the point, and we hope green rolls awkwardly, and green does have a lot of awkward rolls here, being 6 points away. We hit him back, and then we still have a 5 point home board, which is great. Green can only enter 11 rolls of the time out of 36. So here, stay back, play the holding game for contact, and let green expose a checker. If we run, we are running when we are behind in the race. Do not race if you are not ahead. Why are you racing? Hopefully this video has given you some good tips on game plan. Now, thank you so much for watching that video. Lots of ideas for game plans: racing, priming, blitzing, and holding. Now, lots to think about over the board, but I guarantee that thinking more conscientiously about your checker plays in terms of game plan, that objective, will massively improve your game. You will reflect more on your checker decisions, think about your game plan. Now, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. New videos every Wednesday. And also a big shout out to all the people that have been on my channel. Some really top and amazing backgammon players have graced my channel and offered lessons of their own. So please go back and check these videos out if you haven't done it already. There's a lot of really good content in them, just sharing their knowledge for free. So do check that out. And I've also put my email there. So please do get in touch if you want tuition or you have ideas. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Really appreciated. Check out all my videos and I'll see you next time. Good luck in your game plan. Happy dice. See you next time. Bye bye.